Hi there. Well, I've got a real screamer of an engine to share with you today. And I know it's a screamer because I've just been running this out in the garden and I can still feel my ears ringing from the noise, and it ran really nice. Now this is a 1960s 2.5cc ED racer. Now we'll take a closer look at this because there's a couple of things worth pointing out. Okay, so we've got this lovely looking engine. It's really nice condition, in the most part anyway. You can see the anodizing is really nice on the head. No marks or scratches really to talk about. Same with the prop driver and the prop nut. Now the prop nut is a slightly different colour. I'm not quite sure why and whether that's original or not, but I've no reason to believe it isn't. Now, one of the things about ED engines is that they have a lot of information on them to tell us about them. We've got ED, which is the manufacturer, electronic developments. We've got the size designation. We've got 246, so that's 2.46 cc, so 2.5cc. But the really interesting piece of information is the serial number just here, and that is RN51A. Now I've written that down, and if we look at this, we can see the R is for racer. We've got the N, which is the month code it was made, so this was made in December. We've got 51, which is the batch number of that year or that month, I'm not sure. And then we've got A at the end, which is 1960. So we can tell from this serial number that we have a December 1960 engine, which is really nice to be able to pin down these ED engines. And this is, I think this is the same with all ED engines. You can pin them down to the month and year like that. Now, I said in the most part it's in really good condition. When I first got this, it had a carb on it, and somebody had removed the needle valve. They'd cut a little bit of the venturi off, and they drilled out the venturi, which is really sad, but hopefully it won't make any difference to the running of this engine. Now, I hadn't got a needle valve, but a good friend really kindly made me this needle valve. It's a reproduction looking needle valve. He's a very skilled machinist, so I'm fairly sure this will be fine. In fact, you'll see on the video in a bit that it actually ran really nice with it. So I'm really pleased at having that. Now, this is one of the later ED racers, and you can tell that by the solid front housing here, or front part of the crankcase. I think there were two versions before, one of which was narrower here with webs, and then one without the webs, I believe. I'm not totally sure. I'd need to look that up. But this is one of the later ones anyway. Well, I ran this on this 9x4 prop, which seemed ideal for it. And I ran it on Model Technics D2000 diesel fuel. So anyway, take a look at this and see how you think it ran. Right, let's see how this thing runs. So we've got fuel. Let's give it a prime. Feels lovely. Whee. Woo-wee. That was loud. Well, that ran lovely. It was a bit loud, so for the sake of my neighbours, I'm not going to run that again today. But that ran really nicely. Quite sensitive on the needle valve, but once it was dialed in, it ran really, really nice. And what was that? We were over 12,000 RPM then, and it really got through that fuel. I mean, it ran out of fuel in the end. It was certainly drinking it. But anyway, really enjoyed running this. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Thanks very much.